Okay, so we are moving into the winter season, so we're phasing in the winter movements, the winter sets movements. Um, why not start or phase in the movement that includes massaging? I mean, you could always use massage. And so we're also incorporating some of the all seasons set with our summer fall set. So we're still in our summer fall set, but we're going to incorporate the all seasons movements and a little bit of the winter set, which is winter addresses the kidneys. So the reason we're sitting down is we're going to start with the massaging of the ears. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is um, almost sandwich the ear, you know, index, middle, or middle ring. I usually do index middle and use that, add a little bit of pressure onto like the temple area. So it's almost like you're kind of like pressing in, but it's more of not, it's more of a pressure, supporting pressure. So there's a pressure to support the skull and the head, and then there's a pressure to um, squeeze and support the ear. And so we're going to support the ear and start to move the ear around more at its attachment zone to the skull. So we're starting with some smooth, relaxing circles. And let's do some deep breath regulation using deep abdominal breathing. And one of the things that's nice to do as on the front and then even on the back is give a little bit of massaging onto the temple area. And then with the index finger, a little massaging behind the ear, if that makes sense. So you kind of massage with the pads of the fingers and then incorporate that with uh, pulling the ear. Okay. And so with all of these movements of massaging, explore the zone and explore the feeling, explore the pressure, and explore angles in a way that is relaxing and feels good. So the nerves actually guide the movement. Your nerves, tell you if the movement is feeling good or not. So your nerves guide your fingers in a way. So let's now grab the whole ear with the pads of the fingers. We're gonna grab the whole ear and we'll do a little bit of tuning, if you will, a little bit of tuning, and then also a little bit of pulling. So we're really getting into those tissues. Now, um, with also the pads and the fingertips, start to get into the crevices of the ear as you're pressing the fingers together, as you're tuning, and then also as you're circling and pulling. So combine all of these movements in a way that feels good, for your ear and for the areas around the ear. So now let's finish it off. Let's finish it off with folding the ears in. You're not going to be able to hear me after you fold your ears in. You're going to fold your ears in and then just give some nice circles as you apply pressure onto the head as well. Now we're going to finish the movement with a combing or a sweeping. So we're going to inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up and over, exhale down. And once you're done with that, just go ahead and rest the hands on your thighs and just go ahead and go into internal observation and just letting the movement, the what inertia, if you will, the inertia of the massage, just let that sort of get embodied and just wash through the whole body. Just feel yourself relaxing, feel the nerves relaxing as you're continuing to breathe deeply. Use the exhale strategically each time you exhale, releasing unneeded tension. So now from here, we're going to go into um, regulating the burners, the triple burner, regulating the lower burner, the middle burner, and the upper burner. So we can do that while sitting. Can do that while sitting. Usually we're standing, but we're going to do that while sitting. And essentially, what we're doing is the spinal wave. Everyone's familiar with the spinal wave. But now it's a little different because our tailbone and hips are fixed to the chair. So usually they're able to, they're almost buoyant. The hips and tailbone are buoyant on the legs, but now they're actually rooted on the chair in a way they sort of serve the purpose of now as the feet, if you will. As the feet are connected to the earth, now the tailbone's connected to the chair. So now you're going to be able to go into the spine and observe each vertebrae one at a time. And so the goal here is, as you regulate the burners, is to see if you can smoothly wave the spine section by section. So from the tailbone going into the lower back, the middle back, upper back, and then all the way into the neck and head. So let's try that. We're going to close the spine, almost just relaxing the torso. Feel the torso sort of close, and then feel the tailbone connected to the chair, and then feel the wave come up the lower back, middle back, upper back, finally neck and head. And then relax your torso and posture again. And then smoothly, slowly opening it up again. Wave at the tailbone, lower back, middle back, upper, neck, and then head. And then exhaling. When you exhale again, release unneeded tension, relax your posture, and then inhale and let the spine roll up and through this, let the wave roll up the spine, inhaling. And then exhale, close. Inhaling, rolling up from the tailbone, lower back, middle, upper, neck, finally head. Exhaling, closing, releasing. Again from the tailbone, inhaling, lower back, middle, upper, neck, and head. Find a nice, smooth pace for yourself as you coordinate with your deep abdominal breathing. Now we're going to turn the torso a little bit to the side. This is going to give us a nice twisting posture or twisting of the posture and allow us to roll the spine and massage the um, muscles in the back, the erector spinae along the back. So simply turning the torso to the side, turning the torso to the side and doing the same thing. So you can see my posture is upright, and then I release the posture to gravity, closing the spine, and then from the tailbone again, feeling it connected to the chair, rolling the spine up, lower back, middle, upper to the neck and head. And then again, the cycle continues, releasing, relaxing, closing, inhaling up again through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. And exhaling, releasing, relaxing. We'll do one more and then switch. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then turning now to the other side. So you really want to settle into a rhythmic, relaxing, slow moving pace where the movement is coordinated with the breath, inhaling up and exhaling down. Also good for the internal organs as you open and close the tissues of the abdomen. You're providing a massage for the organs and for the tissues that encase and hold the organs. And you're also reinforcing the root movement of all of our Qigong and Tai Chi movements, the spinal undulation, the spinal wave. Let's come back to the center. Again, spinal wave. So um, if you're unable to see me, I'm going to exaggerate. Let's see what it feels like to exaggerate the movement. So if I exaggerate, it's going to be important to rest your hands on your knees. If I exaggerate the movement, in a way, I'm just folding down, but then I'm rolling up smoothly and then smoothly rolling down, smoothly rolling up. So that's what it feels like to exaggerate it and explore the range of the motion. So it's a really nice wave-like motion that goes through the spine like this. You want to see how soft. This is also where softness and relaxation really enters into uh, the nerves, the nervous system, as you're directly interfacing with the spine. And so that's what we're really trying to embody, is that wave-like motion through the spine. We're reinforcing the Tai Chi, the spiral and yin yang phases as well, especially as we spiral to our maximum range of motion. Now let's start to spiral in to more subtle wave-like motion, bringing the movement in, not so exaggerated, and feeling the subtlety of the wave move from the tailbone through the vertebrae one at a time, all the way up to the neck and the head, coordinated with your breathing, coordinated with your inhalation, exhalation, relatively with the spine. Now, what we're going to do is really close in and blend the moving phase with the stillness phase going into Wu Ji. So you're going to slowly blend in movement into stillness as the spinal wave becomes smaller and smaller, more subtle in the spine until you finally rest and cease the movement at an erect position of the spine. When you finally come to a resting and still position, note the feeling of the tailbone connected to the chair, and note the connection from the tailbone to the top of the head as the head is connected to the sky. Feel this um, posture, feel this center line intact, feel its solidity, and take the time to connect the energies up in the heaven along with the energy in the earth via your spine. Always good to close the eyes to internalize the observation and internalize the connection of the three powers. Take a second and some nice breath cycles to embody Wu Ji, embody that emptiness, embody the stillness. And from here, from this Wu Ji position, we're going to slowly blend into, slowly phase into movement as we spiral from stillness, spiral from Wu Ji back into movement. Slowly spiraling from the tailbone up through the spine, again beginning our spinal wave, feeling the spine closing, relaxing, releasing the posture, and then from the tailbone, waving again, lower, middle, upper, back, neck, and head. And now we're including the shoulders, so we're going to be regulating the upper burner. So now you're going to coordinate the shoulder rolling and chest boat opening and closing with the spinal waving. And the movement is spiraling to a range that is comfortable for you and your body, and holding the movement at this range for yourself. Now we're going to again rotate the torso so as to twist the torso. And again, doing our spinal undulation, coordinating with the shoulders and the chest bow, opening and closing. Now let's turn to the other side. And let's come back to center. We'll do 3 repetitions and slowly blend back in to the Wuji state, bringing the movements incrementally in smaller and smaller. As you do that, really place your attention, hone your awareness through the whole spine, from the tailbone through the spine to the top of the head. As you bring the movement in smaller and smaller, blending into Wuji, place and keep your attention at the spine, through the spine at both ends. Hold your posture fixed here. Release your abdomen so that you can breathe deeply. And connect the earth to the heaven again via your spine. Feel the feeling of stillness in your nerves and in your nervous system. Try to embody it fully. Take a deep breath, inhale, embodying that feeling. Exhale, continuing to release tension, but holding the posture. Now we're going to stand up. So slowly stand up. Here you can release the posture and close the spine, allowing that to bring the weight forward, bringing the body's weight onto the feet, And then from here, pushing into the earth, now you can slowly rise and roll the spine up, standing erect and now connecting the legs to the body and connecting your mind via the legs to the earth. We're going to go to one of the winter set movements, the large bear, loosening the spine. And so here you can hold the hips or you can hold the abdomen, whatever you like to do. If you have your eyes closed, you can have your hands down at the side for balance sake. And as you softly loosen up the spine and the hips, turn your torso, keeping your feet parallel. Turn your torso, sweeping to the left, and then coming back through center, sweeping through the right. So now I'm turned to the right as I'm circling my waist. And slowly, incrementally make your way back, passing through center. And rotating to the other side. And slowly make your way back to center. Notice the direction of the circle that you're going in. And from here, use the S to change directions of the circle. From 12 o'clock, draw half an S, the other half, and then change directions of the circle. See how far and how much you can explore your range of motion. Be careful with leaning backward. Be careful with your lower back and not to lean back too much. And again, turn the torso to the side. And slowly make your way back to center, passing through the center, and turning to the other side. And start to make your way back to center, coming back to center. Now here at the center, we're going to spiral in, coming back into Wuji, back into stillness. Now we're really going to hone in our erect posture from the feet all the way to the head. So bring those circles in smaller and smaller and slowly blend into the Wuji phase. From here, feel your feet connected to the ground. Let that connect to your mind, and then feel the connection as you slightly lift the head up to the sky. Feel the sky connected to you and your body, and the ground via your body. So feeling all these three powers. The next movement we're going to go to from here is going to be the windlass. Go ahead and relax your hands down. You're going to make the windlass hand position with your fingers, soft Tai Chi fist, as you connect the thumb to the index and middle fingers. So hands are relaxed down. From here again, we're beginning with the undulation and with the rolling of the spine. Give me one sec here. So we're going to begin the movement at the dantian, supported by the feet, relaxing the feet, relaxing the spine. And again, rolling the spine, extending feet, opening spine. That's inhale. Exhale, closing spine, rolling forward, releasing the posture, relaxing the posture. Inhaling, coming back up. Exhaling, rolling down, releasing, relaxing. So you should feel the movement connected from the feet, coming up the legs, into the hips, middle back, upper back, shoulders, into the arms, and into the Tai Chi fist, your windlass hands. So see if you can feel the movement starting from the feet, moving through the whole body and finishing in the hands. Begin to engage the arms, rolling through the shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingers. Smooth opening and closing of the arms, coordinated with the body. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Now let your windlass circles become larger, spiraling incrementally larger circles. And feel those circles supported by the body, initiated by the feet. Good. Now let's turn to the side. And just let your position smoothly pan from the center to the side as you continue the same movement at the same pace that you've already established. See how far you can twist and rotate your torso as you stretch your arms forward. Be careful with your lower back. And now from that point, start to make your way back to center incrementally slower and slower. Passing through center so that you can now turn to the other side. And see how far you can turn and rotate the body. From that point, start to come back to center. And then here at center, just go ahead and relax the hands down. We're going to stretch the hamstrings and lower back with the palms under the feet. So um, this movement is going to be stretching forward and trying to get the palms under the feet. It will be sufficient enough, though, to keep the fingers pointed back and allow your body to hang so as to stretch the lower back and the hamstring. And now to come back up, bend your knees, drop your hips, roll your spine, inhaling, coming up, and exhaling, settling into your posture, standing upright. I'm going to do that a few more times. We're actually going to lift the hands, inhaling up, and then hinge at the hips, reaching forward, straight back, straight arms. And then finally, releasing lower back, releasing neck and head, and folding the fingers, folding the hands in to point the fingers back. And let's come up again. We're going to bend the knees, drop the hips, close the spine, rolling the spine up as you rise. Inhaling and exhaling, erecting the spine. Okay, we're going to do one more of those. Inhaling, lifting the arms. Exhaling, bending forward, keeping the back and the arms straight. until the end, then releasing the lower back, folding the hands in, pointing the fingers back, relaxing the head and relaxing the neck. Regulating deep abdominal breathing here. And we're going to rise again, bending the knees, dropping the hips, closing the spine, rolling the spine, rising, pushing into the earth, inhaling, rolling up, exhaling, settling the posture. From here, we're going to take either a bathroom or water break. So I'll be right back in just a second. Take a second for yourself as well. So we're going to sit down now and finish off with massaging of the feet as we complete this and make sure that we do Margaret's favorite position, favorite movement. Yeah. Find the most comfortable position for yourself so that you can uh, support and hold the foot, but also be relaxed as well. All right, so we're going to go into massaging of the foot. Now, let's see. It's been a while since we've done this, so let's see. Where do we begin? Okay. Let's first start off with a simple brushing of the bottom of the foot. Just starting to engage with the nerves. Don't forget to breathe as well. regulating the deep abdominal breathing. So it should start to feel warm. Next thing we're going to do, if you can, with one hand, we're going to hold the toes up, almost flexing with one hand. And then with the knuckles, we're going to go in and massage the tissues of the bottom of the foot. So find the best position for yourself so that you can pull and hold the toes up while you massage the base of the foot and the tissues in there with the knuckles. And here, of course, you can use one knuckle. You can use your thumb if you like, either the whole thumb itself, the pad of the thumb, or the tip of the thumb. You want to let the nerves guide the movement and guide the massage so that whatever feels good, that's where your attention goes and your intention as well. So now let's go ahead and see if we can deepen the massage with the tips of the fingers. And find those areas that speak to you. Spend some time in there, pressing, holding, or pressing and circling. And then you can also begin to slide and push down toward the toes. So now with a nice firm fist, we're going to pound the base of the foot. Don't forget to breathe. Now, with the nails, scratch and stimulate, almost kind of like tickling. I think we're supposed to be slapping. We're going to do slapping though. So now slap it. Get a nice good slap. And then now brush away. Okay, and then from there we'll switch. Find a good position so that you can hold and support the leg and the foot. And we're going to first start off with rubbing to warm up the area. Feel it warm. And now we're going to begin with holding and pulling back the toes and using the knuckles, or you can use the thumb, find what feels best for you, and massage the base of the foot, seeing if you can go deep into the tissues. You can even release the toes if you like. So I like to hold them, but you can release them if you want, and that'll actually give you a little different feeling and response. You can do both as well and see how it fares for you. And as you do that, continue to breathe deeply, deep abdominal breathing. And let's now go in with the thumbs, either sliding, pushing down, or staying in an area and circling, whatever your body calls you to do. It's good exercise for the hands and the fingers as well. Okay, so now we're going to finish up with the making a firm fist, giving a nice, I don't know what else to call it, nice pounding into the base of the foot. You want to get a nice um, resonance. You want to have resonance. Slapping, scratching, important to continue breathing and brushing. So more of like a sweeping away. And that's it. That completes today's session.